Hello and welcome back to another video. We'll be continuing previous video. Probably be kind of short, maybe go through 2 to 3 generations. Or I guess potentially to the first crash if that, for whenever that ends up happening, because I feel like at some point the game is gonna not like what I'm doing with this. Alright, we're gonna go with that for now. I'm gonna assume that. Moment. Alright, sorry about that. My mic just seems to really love capturing sounds near me, so even though someone was just kind of walking around upstairs, it was enough that my mic was gonna catch it, so I didn't want it to mess anything up. I will say that in regards to the loading screen stuff, that it is ongoing right now, but I'm gonna change around a little bit of how I'm gonna handle the invasion of land timeline, because initially like the hexapodal species was going to come onto land just as the ice age was going to start, but now I'm going to change it around a bit so that when they do get onto land, there's going to be 10 million years still to go. This does require moving around a bit of the timeline stuff as well for it, such as so the only stuff that's not getting changed is going to be the plant life and the terrestrial crustacea species. For those of you who haven't seen the video, crustacea is sort of like an arthropod crustacean-like grouping on the planet the project takes place on. So they're going to become classic bugs, so to say. But pretty much everything else, I think, is going to get shifted somewhat. I think except actually the large hexaquill species. So at the end of the next video, at the 500 million year mark, as the continents start to break up, the plant life, the two phyla, one predominantly green and one predominantly yellow, will have semi-aquatic, semi-terrestrial species representing them. I'm doing about 20 million years for the transition from fully aquatic or marine to fully terrestrial, with a clade halfway through that to kind of show some of the changes going on with the groups and all that. As a result of this, so the plants will be done by 490 million years and will start to grow out. They'll start with somewhat smaller, so stuff kind of reminiscent of like lichens, but without the fungi, because I'm not having any fungi present in this project. I don't know a whole lot about fungi myself, and if I were to have made it a part of the project from the get-go, it probably would have involved creating something similar to Prototextites, since the project was started conceptually in 2025. But for those of you who are aware, there was a study recently that happened around the beginning of this year that revealed that Prototextites may not actually be a fungi, but actually a whole new kingdom of life. And so that would have thrown a bit of a wrench into that whole plan there. So I'm also kind of glad I didn't go with that, because it would have been a bit of an issue. But yeah, so plant life goes from 510 million years ago to 490 million years ago for its full transition. The terrestrial crustacea species and the small hexaquill species are doing from 500 to 480 million years ago. So when the plants are halfway through at 500, that's when those two groups start to make their transition. Although it's not being mentioned directly, but at 490, we'll see the halfway for both of those, and then 480 we'll see the first fully terrestrial clades and species of both of those groups. And then it's going to follow by the large hexaquills and the hexapods, which will be, just to make sure I'm doing this right, we're going to start at 490 and end at 470 million years ago. I didn't just think about that momentarily. So I wanted to make sure I didn't give the wrong time. Originally, it was going to be the crustacea species. Then halfway through their transition, both the hexaquills would have started their transition pretty much at the same time. My idea there was that because they were in a predator-prey relationship, as the small prey species made their transition to land, the predator species would have pretty quickly followed in order to keep up with them, but that didn't feel very right, and it would have only been like a handful of generations behind. But the biggest problem was with the terrestrial hexapod species, as they would have started midway through the hexaquills, which would have been at the end of the terrestrial crustacea clade forming, and they would have ended up being right at the edge of the start of the actual ice age. Now, the place I had them starting in, which they're still going to be starting in the same spot and kind of the same area where they're going to transition onto land, is the same. But it's not super close to the pole, but it would have made it somewhat tougher, as they would have very quickly had to have started to develop for colder environments, especially to move about into the areas that are already kind of glacial and frigid areas, like the tundras and whatnot. And as I mentioned in my first video on it, I was already kind of pushing things quickly, because I didn't want to have life make a transition onto land during an ice age, because while from some research I did, it is possible, and it shouldn't be like an impossibility for life to actually make that transition. I don't know exactly how it's going to affect the species and the clades that develop from the water to land and whatnot, so I didn't want to mess with that too much, because I don't know how much research has gone into specifically what that would be like for an actual organism or clade. But because of the transition timing for the terrestrial hexapod group, which is just to kind of give a little bit of a hint as to which group that's going to be. That's going to be a clade from the Maxillocarans, the very fish-like group I designed. Which, I guess, for another bit of a spoiler, I am going to take a very non-fish group and make them fish-like, so I'm going to have a bit of fun there. I'm not going to say which group that is, but you might be able to get a guess when the next video comes out, or if you go to the link to the community forums for Thrive, as you will see images of the various groups coming in the second video. Of course, posted there so that community members and pretty much anyone else who wants to participate can make artwork for it. Most artwork will just be put into the video. If you want it to be a loading screen for Thrive, you will have to specify that in your submission. I don't believe there has been any submissions so far in it, but I do believe that there are a number of individuals who are planning on submitting something for the actual contest stuff, so yeah. But another thing I've been working on, and this was an idea I started a bit back, kind of dropped off and want to try to actually do it now, is, initially the plan was going to be a multiplayer series with a Minecraft mod called Prehistoric Nature, which would essentially, you know, well, if you don't know the mod, there are different dimensions that bring you back to different time periods on Earth, and the goal would be kind of surviving. Initially, it was going to be up to 8 different people trying to do different tasks, meet up with each other and whatnot. But then I realized that, what is it called? The Realms is not available on some of the older Minecraft versions anymore, and I'm not interested in paying for a server for something like this. So I was gonna change it into a single player thing with maybe multiple Thrive dev members who have Minecraft playing different versions of it, and basically having be like, oh yeah, we thought you would all be in the same one, but it looks like you all have a different instance of these dimensions. Please go around, take a look at how the other hab units we created are doing, and check some things out for us. Do some biological research, find life forms, yada yada yada. I may still see if there's other Thrive dev members who might want to participate in it like that, but at the moment it's probably going to be just at least a single player style. I've already chosen the hab unit that I'm going to start, at least my version, if I do it just solo. If I do one with other Thrive dev members, we all have different saves with some different stuff in it, I'll probably try to randomize where I start, just so I'm not like accustomed to where things are going to be in the start that I've already chosen for mine. Since mine is going to be like a single player version without other instances, and just like, hey, things happened, although one of our units we know is well protected, so we sent you there first. Please try to locate the other hab units for us and tell us how they're doing. Acquire material from them if you need to, and do the other stuff we want you to do anyways. And then the whole kind of idea as well with it is, as the different dimensions are kind of cleared of all, so like basically go through survive, being allowed to move on to a new dimension, you'd have to, like the player, myself, or the other dev members, who, if I get others to join me with this, they would have to find all the different life forms, both static, because in the mod there's static forms, mobile forms, and some like block ones. You'd also have to find each biome within that dimension, and also all the other 7 hab units that is not your starting one. And the series would start with the Precambrian one, which goes to pretty much from the formation of Earth to prior to the Cambrian explosion. So obviously it'll be a lot of stuff there. I have been testing a little bit of stuff to make sure it can function pretty well. There's gonna be a few minor changes I'm gonna make, but I'm thinking about recording some stuff to actually create a bit of a maybe an intro video to the idea, posting that maybe later this week. So that is something to look forward to if you are interested in that. And I think it would just be a fun thing that also kind of fits into the whole idea of what this channel is with Thrive, and just talking about games about evolution and science and just life in general. I mean, not like my life, but life as a concept, and just how, at least to me, how fascinating it all is at times. Alright, I'm gonna finish up this generation, and then that's me end of the video. Also, I think this is the first video where I've talked pretty much non-stop. So that's first, I guess. Although I don't know how often that's going to happen a whole lot, as I'm still getting used to just chatting into an empty void of people that don't exist as I do this. They only exist in the future. Hello, future viewer. But yeah, so that's some stuff just going on at the moment. I will also say my summer is a little bit busy, which isn't really contributed to why oh my god, something has the ATP-inducing toxin. That is atrocious. I hate that. But I do have a busy summer. Not really the reason I made the actual loading screen art submission thing take longer than last time. That was mainly a decision because I wanted to make sure that because I want to have a lot more art this time. Because while I can still do art myself, oh my god, this thing is obnoxious. I need to figure something out about that. Um, yeah, even though I do have a busy summer, I just want I want a lot more artwork, hopefully from the community. Because also when we do the actual voting among the devs for loading screens, we only had like 3, 4. I think it was I'm trying to remember. I think it was just 3 artworks. I think there was gonna be a 4th, but the person never ended up making it. But with the amount of time, hopefully a lot more people can do it. And also, even if like a few contributors do a lot, I don't want that to one make people feel like they aren't allowed to do it and that only those people can. And even then, I don't know if the contributors from last time, I think they only did 1 each because I didn't really specify that there was a limit to the amount of arts someone could make. I think they didn't want to just kind of flood it with their own artworks. But also because unless you state you want the actual art you made to be added to the loading screen voting, doesn't matter the actual quality of their artwork. Like, I mean, if you watch my first video on the Spec Evo project part of it, you'll know that my art is not the best. And even my models in Blender and WOMP, they're not the greatest either. Yeah. So I'll try to remember to have the link again in the description of this video. I did get into the last one, I just forgot initially, and I had to add it in later on. So for those who checked it right away and didn't see it, that may be why. Also, I guess something I could mention is there is a number of people on the Thrive Dev team who do have YouTube channels, and we recently added a bunch of the other creators like myself. I think Mr. 42 was added and a handful of others that I don't remember all their names for, to like an affiliate link of sorts. I don't know if that's the right term or word for it, but it kind of allows our videos to be seen by people who have subscribed to, I think like at least the main Thrive channel. I don't know if it allows for videos to show up on the other channels as well. I'm not entirely sure about that part. But yeah, so if you are subscribed to maybe just the regular main channel for Thrive, the Revolutionary Game Studios channel, maybe even one of the other creators, and you see this video and watch it, well, hello, thanks for watching and putting up with me and this crazy thing I'm trying to do with Thrive to see if I can make it hate me at some point. But yeah, thanks for watching this. Regardless of if you're a person who was subscribed to my channel, found this randomly, or if it's because of the attaching of my channel to the Revolutionary Game Studios channel. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're also looking forward to a little trailer for the Minecraft survival thing I mentioned as well. And see you next time. Have a good day.